Hello guys, my name is Natalia, and first of all, I needed to say that it's a pleasure to be here with you. And I am one of the new teachers in the sharing project, and I will be your YouTube professor. And the idea of developing these videos is that you have the opportunity to learn more English vocabulary and grammar in addition to the lessons already taught by your teachers. So I really hope that my classes can be something positive and interesting for each of you, for all the students that will be watching the videos in your YouTube channel. So I beg you, of course, if it will be something possible for you, to share in the comments what do you talk about the lessons, about the classes, what could be better in my next classes, what is the point that you consider something good or not, because this feedback of you, it's really important to me. So in this way I can always be improving the content for you in the next class. So I decided to build this first class based in the form that you fill it for us, and the most voted voted topic that all of the students put to this first class about vocabulary was about disease or doenças in English. So without further ado, I will begin your class now. I will put the presentation here. I decided to begin with some common disease and some common discomforts that we talk a lot of times in Portuguese, and I decided to put how we can say this common disease and this common discomforts in English. So the first disease that I decided to put here, that it's really common in Brazil, and the disease that every Brazilian has at least once a year, it's flu or influenza, that in Portuguese we talk gripe. So we have a little difference in between flu and influenza. Flu we use it in an informal way. So when we are talking with your family or with your friends, you can use flu to talk about gripe. So in this example, he was feeling weak. Because of the flu. But influenza we use in a formal way. So we use when we are in a job or in a scientific article, and we use the formal way influenza. So influenza is an infection disease, okay? So the next one that is really common too, different types of allergy that we can suffer. So we have different types of allergy. We can have food allergy, like persons that can't eat gluten food. So this person have a specific type of food allergy, or skin allergy, some type of allergy in our skin. Okay, so let's move on. Now we will talk about common discomforts that we have a lot here in Brazil too. So we have two types of discomforts that are really common in Portuguese, and we use there a lot. So we are talking about headache and migraine, but there are differences when we are talking about a headache and a migraine, because a migraine, it's a really bad headache, and in Portuguese we talk we use the word enxaqueca for migraine, and headache is when your head are really not good, or we are not feeling good with your mind and all this type of things. So I put some examples here for you. So a glass of water and fresh air can relieve a headache. And other example, but in this situation for a migraine, I needed to take analgesic to reduce the migraine. Okay, so let's move on. So let's continue with some common discomforts, and in this situation we have sickness or nausea and stomachache. So sorry. So when we talk about nausea or sickness, are really common in pregnant, or when you just wake up and you are not feeling so good to the breakfast. So this is really common in the morning, or for pregnant, or in situations that you're not feeling good. Okay, so the example here, I'm okay, it's just morning sickness. And stomachache, it's other situation, is when your stomach are not really good. So the example that I put here for you is when she was very anxious, she started to have stomachache soon after. Okay, so this is a situation of a stomachache. Let's move on. Now we will talk about particular disease, and this first one that I put for you is chickenpox or varicella. Okay, that in Portuguese we say catapora. That it's really common in children. Okay, I put one example here for you. Chickenpox is a highly contagious skin problem, especially in kids in school. Okay, so when you're talking about catapora, we say chickenpox in English, or varicella when we are just searching to be more when we are talking in a formal way, we use varicella. Okay, so let's move on. Other particular disease, it's have a word that it's similar, we use in a similar way in Portuguese, that is cholera or anger. Okay, so in a formal way we use cholera, in a more informal way we use anger. Okay, so in this example, unsanitary conditions contribute to the spread of cholera. Okay, let's move on. So in this slide I decided to put photos because these are really similar disease in the way that they are talking English, but are some differences. Okay, so when we are talking about rubella, or when we are talking in Portuguese rubella, it's really common to say German measles. Okay, German measles. But when we are talking about sarampo in English, we talk just measles. So this is the difference between sarampo and rubella in English. Just for sarampo, we talk measles. But when we are talking about rubella, we talk German measles. Okay? So this is a really interesting difference, and I just think that was something interesting to put here for you. I decided to finish this class talking about some expressions really common in this period, in this moment that we are living, that is a pandemic time with coronavirus. And I just think that it's something important to talk in this class, and let's move on. There are some expressions that are being used in English about this time that we are living that I consider really important to know. Okay, so first of all, of course, there are some names that we can talk about coronavirus. So we can use coronavirus, or we can talk about SARS virus, or we can talk about COVID-19. COVID-19. It's not, you need to know, it's not COVID-19, it's COVID-19, okay? So this is a really important point to know how to say coronavirus, okay? So we can use Like in this example, the number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the Brazil is one of the world's largest, okay? So I put here some words that are like keywords that we are using, we see a lot in English in some newspapers, and I consider that is really important to okay? So we use a lot in this time the word outbreak. That in Portuguese we are talking about a surto. Coronavirus is a global outbreak. Other words that we are using a lot in this time is spread. And the idea in Portuguese is se espalhar ou espalhamento. And we can see here one example. The virus is spreading very fast, okay? Other words that are really interesting to use in this time is crowd or crowding. When we are using crowd, we are talking about multidão. And crowding, it's the idea of aglomeração, okay? So, people should avoid crowded places, okay? Let's move on. So here we have some coronavirus symptoms, okay? That is important to know. So the first one is cough. That it's really, we have some detail that it's really important, this word. A lot of persons say cough in the same way of coffee, but there are different meanings in this words, because when we are talking coffee, we are talking about coffee, okay? That's we drink. But coffee is about tossir or tosse, okay? Other symptom that we have in coronavirus is shortness of breath, falta de ar, chest pain, dor no peito, palpitations, that in Portuguese is the same, palpitações, fever, that is febre, cold, that is not the same of flu or influenza. Cold, it's a weaker flu, okay? So when we are talking about cold, we are talking about resfriado. Other symptom, it's no sense of taste or smell, or we can say tasteless and olfactless, sem paladar e sem olfato, sorry. In this last one, we will talk about protect ourselves and others. That is something really, really important. So, we know that we need to wear a mask or wear a surgical mask, use hand gel or alcohol gel, wash your hands all time, and some situations that I put some examples here that it's for us protect yourself too. So avoid close contact with anyone who has a fever or a cough. Wear a mask when you go to crowded public places and take a hand gel with you. So it's this, guys. I really expect that this first class could be something interesting and enjoyable for you, and I really expect your feedbacks in your comments, because how I say in the beginning of your class, will be something really important to me to build better classes for us. And it's this. Thank you very much, and I expect that you have a really, really good week. Bye bye.